Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Pattern Breaks Facilitator series, where I chat with a seasoned creative facilitator, and they'll take you through a pattern breaking technique for you to do in real time or when you have the time. Thank you so much for joining us. And today's guest is Dr. Paul Scheele. Hi, Paul. Good to see you
Hello,
again.
Michelle. So good to be with you again. Virtual
Yay.
hugs.
Yes, big hugs to you. Paul is CEO of Scheele Learning Systems. He's a speaker, facilitator, mentor, consultant, helping organizations and individuals access their untapped creativity, genius, and brilliance. Paul founded Scheele Learning Systems, a worldwide forum for transformative learning experiences, and is the founding partner of Learning Strategies Corporation, which is a premier publisher of human development programs. He's also co-created learning programs with leaders such as Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor, Marcy Shimoff, Lisa Nichols, and our mutual friend and colleague, the late Dr. Win Wenger, amongst many others. He's also the author of the best-selling books Photo Reading, Natural Brilliance, and Drop-in a Genius. And I can say from my own personal experience, Paul is the real deal. I first met him years ago, maybe 20 years ago. We were both presenters at Win Wenger's Learning and Creativity Double Fest. And then we just connected. I immediately admired what Paul was doing. And then I invited him to present at my Creativity and Business Conference, and everybody loved his session. And so I'm super excited, and we've just stayed in touch over the years. And so I'm super excited to have you back here, Paul. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, and congratulations on your new book. It's very cool. I'm really glad that you brought it out because your work is brilliant and everybody needs to know about it right now.
Thank you. And so I'm going to go ahead and dive right in asking you a question about, how you got into facilitating creative process. I know you do so many other things, but how did you get into facilitating creative process?
Well, it really came as I was a human resource training and development specialist. I was asked by a client of mine here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, a little company called Honeywell, giant,
All
and they
right.
wanted a course on creativity. So, using my background in neurolinguistic programming and how the human mind works, we put together a program called Creativity and Problem Solving, and it's about left brain and right brain, and it ran for many years throughout the organization. It was super successful. I wrote about it in my book Natural Brilliance, and it's just been a centerpiece of all the work I've done ever since. It's how do we use our whole brain to get where we want to go.
I love it. Well, that fits so much in our theme and and what I even talk about in my book around whole brain creative process. Well, one thing I'm asking everyone, because the everybody here is so seasoned and has recognized certain um, patterns that emerge in their own work or learnings or discoveries. What would you say is one of the top learnings or discoveries you've made over the years related to creativity that might be helpful for anyone listening
Well,
today?
the biggest one is the idea that the problem that we're trying to solve is simply the difference between where we are now and where we want to be. So there's this gap, right? And what we do to manage that gap is everything. Either we're really open, we connect with source, we see a solution emerge, or we work diligently, cognitively, creatively, logically to make baby steps to get where we want to go. But the idea is when that gap emerges, what do people do? They get their blame thrower out, they start to throw all kinds of, let's implement this, let's implement that. And they spend a lot of time, energy, and money implementing the wrong solution. And so, if we could put more of our emphasis at the front end of really understanding, wait, what are we really looking at here, and explore, create space to breathe into it, to collectively mine the group intelligence
Mm.
to get to a new place. That's really the difference that makes a difference.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I know you and I could talk about this forever, and I feel so constrained by our time constraints. But one thing I want to say is that's such a significant point. Like, how we tend the gap between is everything. And so I'm going to pop off here, and I'm going to allow you to take people through one pattern breaking technique that might be able to help them in tending their gaps. And then I'll pop back on when you're done. How's that?
Great. Well, I'm
Okay.
going to quickly cover three little things that I think would be really helpful. First idea is that when you're trying to get ideas together and somebody offers something, instead of yeah, butting it, you yes and it. That's a big pattern break, super helpful to yes and be present. The second one is when a person says, well, I've got a problem, what I do immediately is I say, yay, you now know where to tap. You have just discovered the place where the biggest gap now exists. Now we can begin focusing our energy. What most people do is when they realize that they've got a problem, they go, I've got a problem. In which case, their energy drops and everything is terrible and it's everything is outside of them and there's no way for them to feel agency, the idea that they can actually do something about it. So what I've created is called the Joy Spring break. It's a Joy Spring protocol. It allows us to tap into wherever we are, whatever's going on, tap into resources that are immediately accessible and available to us. So there's a couple of pieces to it. I want to explain it to you. I want to show it to you. The first thing is to stand up, stretch, and hydrate. So always have some water with you. We want to be able to sip and hydrate whenever we can. We want to stand up. If you know, Steve Jobs, when he would work with people or have meetings with them, he wouldn't sit down in an office. He would actually get up and walk around the Apple campus. So the idea of standing up, getting out of your seat. Why? Because generally what we're doing is we're holding posture and that holds our neurology in the same position. It also keeps our immune system stuck and locked into the unwillingness to have a change. We have basically a built-in immunity to change system. So what we want to do is we want to stand up. We want to stretch. If you read Amy Cuddy's work on power posing or an NLP that I teach, it's called the physiology of excellence. We want to open up. We want to get into this posture where we're filling our space. We're changing our physiology. Physiology leads affect. In other words, your posture changes your emotions. You're not the victim of whatever feeling you're feeling. You're in charge of it. So change your physiology, change your emotional state, change your mind very quickly. And hydration, super important. Most of us are really stuck because we're not adequately hydrated. So stand up, stretch, hydrate. Doesn't take much water, just a sip is fine. The next thing we want to do is a movement exercise and a cross crawl, something that crosses the midline, very helpful because that helps to balance the cerebral hemispheres. I'll show you one in just a moment. The next thing is we want to do some EFT or emotional freedom technique tapping. Tapping. So a great one is called the karate chop point. Use the blade part of your hand, use 3 or 4 fingers on the other hand. You tap on that spot and you say a simple phrase that will help shift your emotional state. Even though I'm feeling stuck on this problem, try it.
Even though I'm
Even though I'm feeling stuck on this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling a little bit lost, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm not sure how to proceed, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So, what this does is it neutralizes any of the negative emotion states that are going on. And the final piece of this protocol is to drop in. Dropping in means you become present to where you are in this now moment, because no matter what's going on right now, you're okay. So you just drop in. What does that mean? Deep breath in, gentle exhale, relax the shoulders. First thing, relax the shoulders. What does that do? It lets the brain know that you're safe. Because when we're not safe, our shoulders are up around our ears, right? We're not breathing. So shoulders come out. You relax the shoulders. Second thing, relax the muscles of your face, especially the forehead. But then a gentle hint of a smile to corners of your eyes and the corners of your lips. Turns out, after hundreds of thousands of dollars of research on the effect of a smile, it changes your entire neurochemistry. It shifts your internal biology instantaneously. Third thing, notice the breath, feel it in your nostrils. As you breathe, notice the transitions between the breath. Are you holding it jerky? Generally, when our breathing is held, we're trying to hold our emotions, we're trying to hold our thoughts, we're stuck. But let the breath flow. Notice the transitions as you exhale and as you inhale, and let it be smooth. No jerks, no pauses, just one breath flowing into the next. And feel it in that space where your nostrils are. Just feel that, because as soon as you do, what happens? You come into the here and now, which is where all possibility exists. All possibility exists in this now moment. All of your resources as a mature human being exist in this now moment. So as you focus in the now moment, you then also see if the exhale and the inhale can be of a similar duration. So they're about the same length. The exhale and the inhale are about the same length. And what that does is it balances the hemispheres of your brain. So now what have you done? The simple drop-in procedure. Relax your shoulders, takes care of the reptilian brain. You're moved out of a stuck state. You're safe. You relax your face and get a hint of a smile. You just up leveled your midbrain response, your sense of connection. You've opened your heart. Then you get the breath right and you balance the neocortex. So you've got the reptilian, the mammalian, and the neocortex. Now they're all upregulated, and now they're all available for what? This is the key. Your prefrontal cortex. This is where your creativity comes from. This is where your insight into the future. And Michelle was always talking about creative emergence. We want to link ourselves with the pure imaginal realm. We want to link ourselves with that third space where everything emerges from. And when you do that, you've made yourself a landing strip for the emerging future. And the drop in is a simple way to do it. Excuse me, got a little tickle in my throat. So let's do it. I'm going to stand up. I'd like you to do it with me. So, first step, you got a problem. Great. Declare it. That's a good thing. You celebrate that. Stand up. Hydrate. Make a big stretch. Just fill the space. Nice and big. Excellent. And then a little cross lateral movement. You just swing your arms if you want. If you wanted, you could touch the opposite knee. What's called a cross crawl. Perfect. All of that works just great. Next thing, we're going to do the tapping. Even though I feel a little stuck with this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes feel I'm not sure how to proceed, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling uncertain, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, time for the drop in. So if you can, standing, do it. Otherwise, sit down, maintain your balance, or just have your eyes slightly open so you don't get off center. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, close your eyes, let your shoulders drop. Right now, you're safe. Feel it. Notice muscles of your face and relax your forehead. All around your eyes, cheeks, jaw. Bring that hint of a smile to the corners of your eyes and the corners of your mouth. Excellent. You've shifted your midbrain and you've opened your heart to new possibility. Now notice the touch of the breath in your nostrils. As you exhale and inhale, feel the touch of the breath. Most importantly, notice the transitions between the breaths and let those transitions be smooth and even. Continuous, not pauses, no jerks, no hesitation, just one breath flowing into the next. And finally, see if the exhale and inhale can be of a similar duration. Beautiful. Now you've upregulated the brain. Now I invite you to bring into mind the ideal future that you choose to create. You don't know yet how to get there, but what you're doing is you're holding that container of possibility, that space in which your higher wisdom can inform you of the ideal next step. So see yourself at the ideal end result, having already solved whatever disorienting dilemma you may be in, and feeling it, seeing it, knowing how good it feels that you've succeeded, that problem's behind you, you've attained this new ideal end result. Gently rub your hands together, make it nice and warm. Bring your hands to your eyes, open your eyes, the palms of your hands, and draw your hands away from your face and into the room around you. Good. That's it. That's called the Joy Spring Protocol. It is coming out in an app. Whatever the mind does repeatedly becomes the mind's habit. So anytime you feel a disorienting dilemma, you're feeling stuck, run this protocol. It's a tremendous break state. It immediately upregulates the brain into all the possibilities to achieve the result that you want.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. I know I will re-watch this video and take time to go through those steps, and I hope everyone listening does. You know, what you just shared would be fantastic to do at pre-workshop rituals and pre-workshop prep to prepare yourself for any environment you're going to walk into as a facilitator. I know I always do a lot of certain pre-workshop rituals, and these ones are amazing to add in. And we did that all in 10 minutes, you know, and it's so, you worked so many systems of the brain, you know, standing up, stretching the body, hydrating, cross crawl, the hemispheres, the breathing, the dropping in, the EFT. Thank you. That was
Yeah,
really
and Michelle, what's really important to know is that the whole protocol, once you initiate it and finish, it's less than 90 seconds. It doesn't take much.
oh
It's a 90-second intervention. It took me 10 minutes to teach it, but you don't have to take 10 minutes to go through it.
right.
It's super quick, super easy, 90 seconds, stand up, stretch and hydrate, do the joy spring, drop in. However long you want to stay in the drop in, of course, that's up to you.
Oh my gosh, Paul, thank you. That was brilliant. And I know it works. You've had years and years of experience and people that have experienced this. So thank you so much. How can people find you if they want to get more of your work or learn more about you?
Thanks. The ideal thing to do is contact us at scheelelearning.com. It's SCHEELE learning.com. And if you go to Scheele Learning, all the resources, there's a membership signing where I'll take you through a very cool process of really integrating this protocol. It's called the 5 Day Challenge. It's about overcoming overwhelm. It's a great pattern break, and it's a spectacular way to really get things moving along the areas that you're most interested in succeeding in this year.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That is great. And if you want some additional pattern breaking, I have my book here, Pattern Breaks, a Facilitator's Guide to Cultivating Creativity, and where I explore principles, processes, practices, approaches for facilitating creativity and also being more comfortable and at ease as a creative facilitator. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and hope to catch you in the next video. Thanks again, Paul.